Alright, so here's how you do question 15 to 18. So without further ado, let's begin the video. Clarence works at a veterinarian's office. He needs to give a dose of medicine to a 24 kg dog. The recommended dosage for a dog that weighs 10 kg is 25 milliliters. Determine how does Clarence give to the 24 kg dog if the rate remains the same. Show your work. Alright, so first of all, we want to write down our formula, which is ml, or sorry, not our formula, our ratio. Well, right now we're writing our units, right? So we got ml to kg. Now, what we want to find out is the dosage, the amount of milliliters of chemical needed, right? So let me write this in red so it's easier. So we need the amount of chemicals needed, but we know the weight. We know the weight of the dog is 24 kg, right? And we also know that the recommended dosage for a dog is 25 milliliter if it's 10 kg. Now we just have to find out what x is. Now there's two ways to do this, but for now I'm going to do cross multiplication. So you can rewrite this formula down as x multiplied by 10 over is equal to 24 times 25. Now for now we can just write this the same, and let's multiply 24 times 25 is 600. And now we just divide by 10 on both sides. This gets cut out, and we can cut out these two zeros, and we know that x is equal to 60. So the amount of dosage is 60 milliliters. So let's move on to number 16. Peter has two part-time jobs. His earnings for 1 week are represented by the equation below. E is equal to 7.5 R plus 8.25 V. E is the total earning in 1 week. Well, we can write this. Let's write total. R is the restaurant. So restaurant. And V is the video store. So video store. Alright. Peter earns a total of $117.75 in 1 week. If he works 8 hours at the restaurant, how many hours does he work at the video store? So let's write our formula down. Let me write this in red. E is equal to 7.5 R plus 8.25 V, right? Now let's begin. First of all, we know that the total earning is 117.75. So let's replace our E with that. 117.75 is equal to 7.5. We also know that the amount of hours he works in a restaurant is 8. So let's replace our R with 8. So multiply by 8. So it's 8 plus 8.25 in feet. Alright. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna multiply 7.5 by 8, and 7.5 times 8 is 60. Sorry, I wrote that weird. So it's 60 plus 8.25 R. Alright. So, alright, sorry, let me rewrite that R. Okay. So let's erase that. R. Okay. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna subtract this 60. We're gonna bring it over here and we're gonna subtract it. So 1.75 minus 60. Okay. It's equal to 8.25 R. Now, so once you subtract this, it's 57.75. It's equal to 8.25 R. We are still going to divide 0.25 from both sides. Obviously, this side gets cut off. 0.25. And our answer will become 7. So you work 7 hours at the video store. Let's move on to question number 17, sorry. The table below shows the cost of water for 3 customers. They each pay the same cost per liter. Frank pays $36.12 for water at the same rate. Determine the number of liters of water that he purchases. Show your work. So, let's write down our units. So it's a liter and dollars, right? So liter and cost. So what we want to find out is how many liters he bought, and we know that he spent $36.12, right? We also know that, let's look at our first guy over here, that when you spend $8.6, you get 10,000, or yeah, sorry, 10,000 liters. Okay. Now that we have this, all we have to do is do some cross multiplication. We just have a bit bigger numbers this time. So let's begin. We have x 8.6 is equal to 36.12 times 10,000, right? Now, let's multiply these two together, and we get, let me write the first thing down, is equal to 36,000 100, there you go, 361,200. So this is our answer. All right, now we have to divide this by 8.6 on either sides. 0.6, cut this out, and we know that he's gonna get 42,000 liters by spending $36.12. So finally, let's move on to question number 18. All right, so question number 18. David and Shanice each take 450-kilometer trip. David drives a car and uses 7 liters of gas per 100 kilometer. Sean drives a car and uses 12 liters per 100 kilometer. All right. If gas cost is 0.9 per liter, how much more will it cost Shanice than David to drive 450 kilometers? So how do we do this question? Well, it's simpler than you think. We know that David drives a car and uses 7 liters per 100 kilometers, and Shanice drives a car and truck and uses 12 liters per 100 kilometers. And we also know that it's 0.9 per liter. So first, what we're going to do is we're going to find out how much it costs for either of them to spend on 100 kilometers. And then after we find that, we're going to find 450 kilometers. Let's begin. So let's do dollar to liter. So we know that 0.9 for every 1 liter, and for now let's look at Shanice. He has 12 liters, right? Now we can simply multiply both sides by 12 using scaling. So 0.9 times 12 is 10.8, right? So it will cost them $10.8 to go 100 kilometers. Now, in order to find 450 kilometers, we just multiply this by 4.5. And we get our answer. It's gonna cost Shanice $54. Sorry, $54, right? Next, let's do David, right? Once again, dollar to liter, and note 0.9 per 1 liter, and David used 7 liters. So you can multiply both sides by 7, and 0.9 times 7 is 6.3. Now once again, we multiply this by 4.5, and that is 31.5, right? Also, over here I wrote this wrong. I messed this up. It's not actually, you don't put the dollar sign in front. It's not a mathematical error, but you don't put the dollar sign in front. All right. Now, finally, in order to find out how much more David pays, or how much more Shanice pays than David, we simply have to subtract the two. So 54 subtracted by 31.5 is 220.5. There you go. So that's the answer for question number 18, and goodbye.